It was my 10th year of my teaching career, and I was in a middle school just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, about 1,200 kids. And this year started just like any other, lesson plans and seating arrangements and class rosters, except this year was a little bit different. This year, my principal came to the entire staff and said she wanted every teacher to come up with an idea for a club and run it. And every Friday morning from 8:30 to 9 was going to be club time, where students could go to their chosen clubs and just have a little bit of a break from the normal instruction time. Now, out of almost 100 teachers in the building, I gotta admit, there were some pretty creative ideas for some clubs. There was a Harry Potter club, where they would just sit around and talk about Harry Potter for a while. There was a cornhole club where the teacher brought in a cornhole set. They just played cornhole. There was a puzzle club. There was a Lego club. There was a Minecraft club. There were all kinds of clubs to pick from. But I wanted to do something different. You see, by that point, I knew this was going to be my final year of teaching. And I was already working with schools around the country, speaking and doing assemblies and teacher trainings and parent nights, and I knew I wanted to do something to incorporate the message I was already spreading around the country into my own school. So I started the Golden Rule Ambassadors Club, because I asked myself, what if the Golden Rule became the norm on campus? Now, I wasn't naive, I knew nothing was ever going to be perfect, but I wondered, what if? What if even a small group of students decided to live by and intentionally be examples of the Golden Rule on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? What if? I had 15 students sign up for my club. Yeah, 15 out of 1,200. And I'm pretty sure half of them were only there because the clubs they wanted to join were already full. But we got to work. I wrote lesson plans for our weekly meetings. Every month had a theme and a challenge or a project to go along with that monthly theme. 1 month's theme was the Golden Rule. 1 month was resilience. 1 month was kindness. And we had so many amazing discussions. And we did some pretty cool things on our campus. That was September. Later in the school year, at the end of April, a student walked into the restroom during class one morning. And while she was in there, she wrote on the bathroom stall that she was going to kill herself. And then she went back to class. A few minutes later, according to the security camera footage, another student walked into the restroom and a few seconds later walked back out. She went to her locker, got some Post-it notes and a pen, went back to the restroom, and on a Post-it note she wrote 3 words, "You are loved," and stuck that Post-it note over top the original comment. About 2 hours later, the entire girls' restroom was covered in Post-it notes with positive messages. You're loved, don't do anything you'll regret, just keep breathing, there's always a reason to live, you're priceless, you're beautiful, just so many positive comments. And then by the end of the day, every restroom in the building, boys, girls, staff, every restroom was covered in Post-it notes. Teachers even got involved. They took poster boards and huge chart paper and put up signs in all the restrooms. Even the overnight custodians got involved, because when we came in the next morning, on every glass pane and every window, they had taken dry erase markers and written positive messages around the school. I had never seen anything like that in my decade of teaching. And it still gets me a little bit choked up to this day. That next morning, I got an email from my principal. It was one of those emails that nobody wants to get from your boss. It just said, "See me when you're free." So I went down to her office and I closed the door and I sat down. And with a straight face, she said, "I guess you know what happened yesterday." I was like, "No, but the bathrooms look pretty cool." She filled me in on everything. Now, they found the student that wrote the initial message on the bathroom stall, and she got help and she's okay. But my principal looked at me, she said, "Shoof, you did this." I said, "Did what?" She said, the sticky notes in the bathroom, that was your club, your kindness, your golden rule club, that you did this. And she told me the name of the student that wrote that first sticky note. And I said, no, I don't know that student. She's not in any of my classes, she's not in my club, I don't know her. And my principal looked at me with tears in her eyes. She said, Shuf, I've been at this school for over 10 years. Had a student written a message like that last year or any year before, nobody would have said or done anything, and we would have lost a student. She said, but because of your club and the things you've been doing and the messages you've been spreading, she said, the culture here is different now. This year, this student, this time, it was different. You see, you don't need a ton of people to create a big change. I had 15 students in a school of 1,200. What, 1%? You don't need a large number of people. You need heart, and then you need a specific plan, and then you need action. So what are you gonna do? What's the difference that you can make? You have the heart. Now make the plan and take the action.